money is usually competing with infidelity.
True.
As far as breaking marriages is concerned. And interestingly, even when infidelity is number one, you will find that money was involved in the infidelity. So I think money really just takes the day.
Yes.
It carries the day with regards to infidelity. So then what is this issue with money? Kwa nini pesa inatusumbua hivi mpaka haitambui mapenzi? Even a financially stable person of those levels that I'm talking about is not immune to downfall. They are not immune to being taken back to poverty and brokenness.
Yeah.
By the way, men really need to step up in terms of confidence.
True.
They need to step up. You cannot be cowering ati sina doso siezi jaribu.
Pearl Radio, the home of fresh and classic hits.
My name is Ann Muitiriri. I am born again. I love Christ as my personal savior. I am also married to one Frederick Muitiriri, and he is a good man in every way. I'm also a mother of 3, and I'm also very enthusiastic, very passionate about godly relationships and marriages. Yeah.
Awesome. You're telling me that somebody was calling you a Gen Z.
Mama kwa soko leo ameniita Gen Z. Let me tell you, even they were saying that I don't know how to drive. I didn't even take offense. Because when you called me Gen Z, I was like, oh my God, I look like Gen Z.
Well,
that was so good. Mbaka karudi kuniambia, ocha nikueleze kwa sababu wewe nimeona uko na roho mzuri. Niko tu like, umeniita Gen Z, I'm feeling nice. Sasa hiyo nilikuwa naenda kutafuta stocking za watoto.
A Gen Z parent. Anyways.
Yeah.
Karibu sana. Now, this beautiful evening, we are talking about the financial expectations. You know, last week we talked, what we shared last week, we talked many things, yeah?
Yeah.
Last week we shared about, maybe you can mention what we talked about last week.
Okay, this is you ambushing me.
Yes.
After, because my head right now is full of, I look like Gen Z, but I'll try to focus. Last week we talked about, it was a part 2 of, not social media, but it was related.
Yes.
What was this?
And
it was social media. No.
Was it social
media? Was the other one.
Okay. Don't worry, I'll remember, because even for me, we usually tackle a lot of things. But if in case you missed any of our episode, kindly go on YouTube.
Exactly.
At Pearl Digital KE. Hatutakwambia tulidiscuss nini, ndio usikose kwenda pale.
Hata ndio hiyo
enda hapo. But let's talk matters love and money. Let's start from that point. How is love intertwined or connected with money?
Money is connected with everything. So love peke yake ina suffer in the hands of money. It's true. It's not only love that's suffering in the hands of money. A lot of things are suffering in the hands of money, including mental health.
Yes.
So there's a lot of money issues in love. There's a lot of money issues in, there's a lot of balancing between, for example, career and money. I mean, we have all these things of, I want to do what makes me happy, but what makes me happy is not giving me money. So career-wise, you end up in the wrong career. I mean, money is in every space. Money has found its way into all spheres of our life. So it's not only love that's suffering in the hands of money. However, I'm saying all this to say that then, what is this issue with money? And I will say it again and again and again. The issue with money is how you relate with money. How you relate with money is what you take into your career, is what you take into your relationship, is what you take into your parenting. It's how you see money to begin with. Statistics, which I will not quote.
Yes.
So I'll just say general research shows that money is usually competing with infidelity.
True.
as far as breaking marriages is concerned. And interestingly, even when infidelity is number one, you will find that money was involved in the infidelity. So I think money really just takes the day.
Yes.
It carries the day with regards to infidelity. So then what is this issue with money? Kwa nini pesa inatusumbua hivi mpaka haitambui mapenzi? What, you know, the way love is blind, sweeps you off your feet, nini. The only thing where we draw the line is money, honestly.
Yes.
So what is this issue with money? It's our relationship with money. So there are issues of ownership. There are issues of generosity. There are issues of roles with regards to provision, because provision touches on money. So it's really, how do you see money? As a man, is money the means to your masculinity, so to speak? Is it what, because if as a man you believe you have to provide and there is no other way, then for you, without money, you will come to believe that you are to be pampered only, then for you, money is supposed to come to you. And that is what you take to the relationship. So if money doesn't start coming to you in the relationship, it becomes trouble. So you realize it's not that there were issues in there. You come with how you relate with money, and that is where the problems or the thriving begins. Yeah.
In as much the Bible says the love of money is the root cause of all kinds of evil.
Yeah.
And one evil is despising people because they don't have money. And so I want to start even from there, from the point of singles. There are those people who have made this. And this is something they have said, that if this guy does not have money, me, I'm not dating them.
Yeah.
Amesema na when it comes to money, si ati akona 2k ile ya 2k urgently akuwe na pesa.
Oh yeah, ati 2k urgently. CEO, you want to see a land flowing with money and money.
Yes, financial stability, to start from that point.
Honestly, sometimes I think we don't even understand what financial stability is. Ndio tuhitisha financial stability.
Yeah.
You know, if you really listen to a financial advisor who really knows financial advising, many people that people call financially stable are not financially stable. So what many people end up going for is somebody with money at hand. That's not stability. That's money at hand. And honestly, it displays how short-sighted you are, even you yourself. Like, by the way, unajianika vibaya sana.
Yeah.
The fact that for you, financial stability means somebody comes in a Subaru that is doing and is, you know, doing the latest fashion and what have you. By the way, you look, I'm trying to be godly and nice, but you're displaying some, okay, let's use folly. Folly, it's biblical.
Yeah.
Not foolishness. Okay, nimesema saina imenitoka, so sitasema tena. But you really are displaying a very high level of ignorance when you ask for financially stable. And really what you're looking for is somebody who is flaunting money. Because financial stability oftentimes takes a very long time. Financially stable, you're looking at somebody who, if they got fired from their job today, or if their business crumbled today, they have reserves. You know, those things of passive income, they have money that is growing somewhere, they have some seed that has remained untouched for days, and so they can go and take that seed and revive the business. That's what you're calling financial stability. Very, very many people are not there yet. So to begin with, that's what I'm telling you, it's your relationship with money. So even your poor knowledge about finances is what is leading you to make the kind of decisions you're making.
Yes.
Unfortunately, even a financially stable person of those levels that I'm talking about is not immune to downfall. They are not immune to being taken back to poverty and brokenness.
Yeah.
How much more someone that is not financially stable, all they have is the Subaru and the big house that you're looking at now. That house is probably on mortgage, you know.
Yeah.
But you're looking at this guy, you feeling, hey, this guy has chums. But maybe he's employed, okay, by right now, ask me, big NGOs that have been paying people really nice. Right now, people are at home, a lot of them, for example.
Yes.
This tells you there isn't a lot of security in what you are referring to as financial stability, which is not even financial stability. So you need to go back and decide what you want in this life. Are you looking for financial stability, or are you looking for someone who is able to get himself and you as part of his family to financial stability?
You know, allow me just to bring this point, because we've talked about financial stability, and even in the Bible, we saw in the life of Job, he lost everything, literally everything, in a single day, and because most of this, even in this generation, people are, they're putting more security in what you have, in what you're bringing to the table. Some of them, they say, "Mimi ndio table."
Yeah. I have realized many who are asking to bring something, even the table they don't have to be placed on. So you make yourself the table.
And others want to prepare a table in the presence of the enemies. Anyway. Now, the issue of finances, if you come with the mentality that you have to have this guy needs to be driving, he needs to be having this and having this, because in that particular, because me, I know, and one thing about God takes us through the process. Unajua huyu mtu amemaliza campus the other day, employer the other day, how do you expect him to have a car?
I think men are expected to have some supernatural sort of thing driving this. Like, it doesn't make sense anyway. It doesn't make sense. You're looking for somebody to marry you, which means you're in the same age bracket somehow. They're probably older than you by 3-4 years, even 5 years. But you are expecting them to be where you will not be in those 5 years. Like, okay, what magic is supposed to be playing in these men's lives that causes them to have that sort of financial, and yet, okay, I know women are not there yet. But if you think about it, there's a lot of opportunities for women nowadays. So many that there's so many big jobs that are now being given to women, and men are out there hustling. And it's unfortunate that you will even find even some of these advantages that people naturally enjoy, like coming from a good family, for example.
Yes.
If the girl comes from a good family, before we even talk about the gender, and by good family I mean privileged in the sense of wealth and connections and so on, before we even consider the gender, the fact that you come from a wealthy and well-connected family places you already a few strides ahead of someone else, regardless of gender, who comes from a way humbler background, right?
Yes.
But then you will find a girl of this caliber still insisting that they want a man of the age that should marry them to be strides ahead of them, regardless of what family they come from. So, which means, in essence, if you're coming from affluence, then you should only be looking for a dude coming from affluence. And then, of course, there's some abracadabra, so that now you are both coming from kind of like the same background, but akwe ahead of you now, because somehow he's already made it. I don't know how.
Yes.
Yeah. What does that tell us? You are not even dating someone's present. You are dating their past, because they have to have come from somewhere.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense. It's all a lot of confusion, and that's why I beg of people, please go back and think about this money thing, and think about, what do I really want, and how do I see money, and what really is money? Because money is just means to many things. It's not an end in itself. So you cannot put money as the goal, right? You cannot put money as a goal. Money should just be a means, which means somehow there could be another way to get to to the end,
Yes.
right? It's really, I how does Paul say it? I beseech you, brethren.
I was imagining Paul writing to these Gen Zs.
I know,
I'm
right?
writing.
I know, yeah. And this one, it's even millennials. I am beseeching you, millennials. And Gen Zs, yes, very much millennials, because
Yes.
my age and a little younger than me are really suffering from this. I beseech you to go back and think about this money and see where it is in your life. Think about what role it plays in your life and how you regard it.
Yeah. Because even sadly, there are those of men who play victim because they say, I don't have this, so I cannot try this. I cannot get into a relationship. I'm not financially stable. And they've listened, we talked about social media. They've listened to a lot of advice. Sasa wewe mwanaume una pesa unaingia kwa relationship ya nini? So there are those men who have said, also they're playing victim. Unapata mdema ako sawa, but yeye anasema, hey, mimi staki. Siwezi kakudate kwa sababu I feel like mimi sina do enough. Yeah, like as in I'm not even financially stable enough to be. So we have allowed money to determine and to bring validation in terms of relationship.
Yeah, exactly. And you see these men. It's I mean, by the way, like you're saying, it's an issue of both sides, because you can't blame the women for their way of thinking. Well, you also have bought into the same way of thinking.
True.
So what are you bringing to the table, so to speak, in terms of values and in terms of what we should be believing in? What are you bringing to the table? Is what you're bringing, is that mentality that you're bringing to the table helping with the situation? It's not. Yet still you want to marry at some point, right? So and like, remember, there's a time I was challenging men. I still challenge them even now. Men, you need to go in knowing what you want, believing in yourself, and believing that you can even change somebody's mind, right?
Yes.
You are capable of by the way, come in with the audacity of a man, even without the money, and tell this girl you like them, and get them to know that it does not matter that you don't have cash in hand now, but this is your life, and they will believe in you. There are girls who will believe in you.
Yes.
But now when you come with the woishe, this girl already despises, well, you and other men from the society point of view, from the broader point of view already. Then you come as an individual, you help her now despise you as an individual, honestly. Come in with guts. And by the way, men really need to step up in terms of confidence.
True.
They need to step up. You cannot be cowering ati sina doso siezi jaribu. So kama msho unajua nini, mimi nakulike. And if we get into a relationship, I know I might not have the money to spoil you now, but how about, can we work on a nice friendship? Can we just enjoy life for now? Can we not put this money thing and let's enjoy life? Kana kulike na unani likes, tunalikeana. Situjibambe, because there's much more to life.
Yes.
If you put money at the front, you won't be able to enjoy life. You won't be able to take nice walks and laugh together. And there's a lot of romance that can happen without money. Oh, young men and women, there is a lot of awesome things that can happen without money in the picture.
Yes.
Just taking those strolls. Some of these things we see on social media, if you think about it, there's no money involved. Unacheki tu wase wanatembea mahali huko Arboretum.
Yeah.
Arboretum kuingia ni so.
Ni so actually.
But if
Hata
you
Uhuru
look
Park is
at
free.
that, exactly. You look at that couple. Hey, Uhuru Park inatujua na jina mimi na bwanangu.
Yeah.
And I can imagine the way we'd hold hands and just walk and laugh and engage in deep conversation. Somebody was probably looking at us and thinking, oh my God, if we were on social media then big time, and somebody just took that video of us really enjoying life and feeling, really in that space of love,
yes,
with all its bliss. Unfortunately, because of how we see money, people will still associate that to money. Yet saa hiyo haujui, hapa tuliingia free, tumetrek kutoka kanisa Valley Road, tukakuja hadi Uhuru Park. Na si eti, okay, if we had the money, we'd probably just have picked a mat. but we got used to walking cause hata hatuna do. Then tukaketi na hapo kuna tu pancakes nilikuwa nimemake kwangu, tukaketi kwa viti zingine pale juu, we took our two pancakes and strungi, and then tukaenda tukaingia Uhuru, tukatembea, tumetembea, we walk, then we get hungry, then we go and buy one soda and 2 mandazis and we share, or even 1 mandazi and we share it. I mean, unless we let you into the, do we call them intricacies? Those two logistics.
Yes.
You will think we are doing well in life generally. Financially, we were doing terribly, but we were enjoying life. Look at us now. Yeah.
Wow. That is a lesson. That is a lesson that we ought to learn. Because we can start from that point. And one of the things I think also, people need to be genuine when it comes to money. And that's actually what the conversation I want us also to pick in the next hour. In terms of transparency. Because even some of us, the reason why dema na kuchukua, when you ulimuonyesha from the word go, that by the way, I can take you to go KFC, ama ukachukua gari ya wenyewe.
Oh yeah, aki.
Ukakuja nayo.
Aki alafu ukagongesha.
Yani kumbe uko unajua kudrive.
Oh yeah.
Unajua tu kudrive watu crazy.
Historia ya kudrive watu crazy. Kwani kuna mtu ashai kuchoma nayo? Juni kama inakuanga imekuwa affect. Inafaa tuongea na Purity tusikie. Kama all she's been driven is crazy.
Some of the questions we'll be, answering in this conversation is, who should pay for dates as well? And is financial compatibility a thing? And how do couples handle money in the right way? But, before we actually start even on that point, in the previous hour, we shared about, transparency. Because the reason why all these things happen is because tunataka kudanganya watu uko na pesa yenye una.
Oh yeah.
And so how should couples discuss finances in a relationship? And also when it comes to honesty, in terms of income, debts, and also the financial goals. Tetesiambia mtu aanze kushtuka.
Umegusa mlima hapo kwa debts. Ati niko na katala kaimshwari. Equity ndio ameniweka CRB lakini ninaongea na wao.
Run.
Hata ni wao wamenizuia kuchukua pale sako. My guy. Haya. Lakini still the same.
Yes.
Honesty haitambui. What the truth is, the Bible does not say you speak the truth and be a child of the light if you are walking in the light.
Yes.
Hapana. Hata kwenye kuko na giza, be a child of the light.
Yeah.
Weka tu mwangaza kwa hiyo giza useme na niko na kagiza hapa si unakaona. So if we are talking about financial transparency, it's not just saying how much you earn. It's also saying kuna katala ka mshwari hapa na pale ka CRB nini, just shed light even on the darkness, bwana, because you cannot be selective on honesty.
Yeah.
And actually that is why, allow me to touch on financial compatibility, and we will get there, but just to mention, financial compatibility should not be compatibility about how much money you have. Financial compatibility should be compatibility with regards to how we see money and how we believe money should be treated, how we believe we should handle finances. Let's just see financial compatibility as that. Accepting that, yes, money is unique in its own way and it needs to be handled very carefully. So financial compatibility in the sense of, do we see ourselves getting somewhere financially? When we marry, will we be able to walk a financial journey together? Because this means checking, for example, katala ka mshwari ka nini could be an indicator of a debt problem, right? So it's not that this person does not have money. It's not about whether they have money or not. It's about their money habits.
Yes.
And whether these habits are going to affect your finances as a couple.
Yes.
And will they? Of course they will, because once you come together and say we are one even money wise, then kadeni kake ni kako. So kama atashinda akichukua kadeni kidogo, kadeni ni ya nyinyi wawili. So and that does not mean if you hear niko na Katala, niko na Mshwari, you run immediately. It's a red flag. But then I usually say, give space for conversation.
True.
Give space to listen to, hey, what's going on? What's really happening? Maybe someone doesn't have a debt problem, but they have been in a mess with regards to the needs. Maybe this person, I have seen people who've been auctioned because they had a patient, a family member who is sick, and they were selling things right, left, center, just to cling on to dear life for this family member.
Yeah.
So someone like that, if they end up telling you they have debts and you decide it's a red flag, then what you are red flagging is the debt, not their money habits. Because this is probably a person who even has a strategy in place, and they are actually taking care of the debt. Then that tells you how this person handles finances. So even when the debts come up, even when, just the same way as I am paid, let's say this person tells you they are paid 300,000, maybe you're paid 40K. So for you, 300,000 looks like it's a lot of money. That's not what you should be looking at. Look at what they do with the 300,000. Look at whether they blow it all up in the month, which means if you are also hoping that out of this 300,000, then you can sit and relax between, because you are even starting to budget for yourself like 100K, you will become part of the problem, my guy.
True.
You will become part of his financial problem or her financial problem. So it's really how we see money that should be compatibility rather than just the finances themselves. So it's good to come clean, like you were saying. Of course, not too soon. You won't meet for date 1 and then date 2 you're already talking about how much you earn. Kidogo yo nayo haitatokea hivyo. Although it's also a little bit in our culture, because a lot of people in the West are very, very open about what they earn. But then, I mean, it's not a bad culture, so to speak. I mean, it's not a do or die matter. So yeah, I mean, first dates, like you're saying, who should pay for the dates? Okay, allow the guy to pay for the dates. But all these things are intertwined. Dear guy, as you pay for the first few dates, as you look to having a solid relationship where you decide who pays for dates, or you start to just say, hey, can we go out this weekend? And if it's not a surprise thing, you're like, yo, me niko down kiasi, and maybe she says, no, we can do tea at Mama Shiro's hapo nini, and I'm in a position to pay for it. Because at that time now, your focus is on really having time together and so on. Before you get there, while you're paying for the first few dates, expectation management.
Yes.
Hivyo tu vile ulikuwa unasema. If you start by taking this girl out to Java, CJ's, Angawea, and you know you don't have the money, by the time you're getting to date 5, date 6,
kumpeleka picnic,
and then you are talking about finances, and then that is when you're saying, by then you get 20K per month. I go like, yo, your 20K si tulisha kula yote by now. It's over, you know. So please set your expectations wisely.
Yes.
Yeah. Like we've said, men, step up, by the way. Like, guy, men, imagine men, you're very powerful. I don't know kwa nini wanaume wanajidharau hivyo. Like, if a girl likes you, take advantage of the fact that they like you to really stamp some authority with regards to how things should be done. Amesema, you've asked out, where are you comfortable going? And she says Java. Yeah? You can suggest something that is not very far from Java, but avoid going straight to Java. Or you can take your audacity a notch higher. Find your means to Java for the first one, but just let her know that, can we meet at a different place next time? Are you comfortable meeting at I don't know, Kilimanjaro, or another one that, you know, the prices are more reasonable for you. I don't want to say reasonable, because what is reasonable for you to listen is not reasonable for someone else. As ingine ni maskini na tusumbua.
Yeah.
Naanza kulabel things reasonable. Who said it's reasonable for him? It's reasonable for you, yeah? Start to take it down as soon as possible. Otherwise, if you go and you're swept off your feet, And all you can ask is, can we meet again by that journey? Now that's when you're texting, that was so good, thanks for meeting me, nini. Yeah, that's been real. Yeah, can we go out for coffee again next week? Maybe, are you free on Saturday? Yes. This time please say where.
Yeah.
Because if you wait for her to say, can we meet in Java of the other side, now mtakuwa mnazunguka hizi Java za Nairobi, my guy, and now all your money will be going there and you have no money for your future and you're looking at a future relationship. So while you are doing that, please set expectations really early. Ask God for, God is generous. He says in James, if any of you lacks wisdom, ask for it, I will give.
Yeah.
Just ask God for wisdom. Imagine. Usijitegemee tena sana. Hizi vitu zitakuchanganya. Ni ngumu, by the way. Huku umechanganyikishwa akili na urembo na nini na nini. Na hapa you need to make very sober decisions. Also ask God to pave way for you. Ask God to speak to this girl. Ask God to give you wisdom for this person. Because what I'm telling you now may work for one person, two people. It may not work for you. But then as long as you know the underlying concept, just ask God also akufunulie njia yako ni gani ya kuset hizo expectations. Njia yako ni gani ya kuongelesha udem hivi na usibant. You get? Yeah.
Wow, it's good that you mentioned that. There was a scenario that happened last month. So this story actually was even all over social media. So the guy alipeleka msichana date, wakakula vizuri, a very good hotel. Sasa kumaliza hivi date, akalipia msichana Uber, kamwambia safika nyumbani. Kamwambia now you can you can go home. Even for me, I want to take a cab. So the next thing is this guy kumba kuteka cab. Jamaa kaenda kufika pale Kencom, kapanda City Hopper. Now even the most shocking thing is this. Kupanda hivi City Hopper, here comes the lady. Also in the same matatu. And also was like, my friend, who is...
Tofauti ni eti yeye pesa ya Uber iko kwa mfuko.
I don't know, natumiangu fare.
My guy. Uyaki pole wherever you are, whoever you are. We are sorry.
And so it's very important that we're talking about transparency. Let us not fake. Easy V2. Because this person is going to stay with them. So una fake ya nini? Mutakaa na for how many years? You know.
Just how long will you fake it?
How long will you fake it?
How long?
Because the mask will definitely fall off.
Because the faking is not... The process of faking does not multiply your money. Unajua ingekuwa like the more you fake it, the more you make it.
Yeah.
Ingekuwa kitu ingine juu ungejua at least sa pesa inakuja, so at some point you'll have to stop faking it. Yeah. Unfortunately, in the process of faking it, you're even doing division instead of multiplication. You cannot even now save. You cannot put your money anywhere where it's growing because now you're splashing all your money on this girl. Doesn't make sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's very important. I want to just to highlight one point because we have a few minutes before we hit half an hour. I just want to talk about the cultural and the societal expectation when it comes to finances and even for both genders. I know maybe right now things are changing, but kuna hiyo expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, of course you've talked about many things, but there is stability, there are many things. So talk about the societal expectation that has actually, you know, defined men and also defined women in terms of when you're getting into a relationship.
Yeah, and this are what shape us to all those things we were talking about. It's unfortunate that society has taught men that they are the providers and not, like, providing is even more important than leadership.
True.
And yet providing and leadership can be very, very different. You can come with the money, but you have no sense of direction with regards to the family finances. You don't know what money should go where. You don't know what to save. You don't know how to spend it so that it sustains you. So unfortunately, many men come in with providing, which beats logic because we're talking about something that's really fluid. Money is really fluid. Money is flexible and dynamic. It can come today and it will find its way out of your pocket tomorrow. Yani,
it has wings.
If money was employable, flexible and dynamic will be winning on its CV. Like, you can't tie down money, really. It's really hard, right? So it's unfortunate that that society has put it that way. It's unfortunate that society has told women, my money is mine and yours is ours. It's logic, because why are we one? Why are we not just sharing the responsibility of, we've come together, we are now one, we have a family, how do we take care of this family? Rather than, because now this society is promoting a lot of selfishness. It's promoting, yani hiyo kitu naifikirianga, it just feels wicked. It just feels like you hold money in such high regard that even somebody who you love so deeply, money is where you draw the line. You love this person completely. You love them. They are a good person. You are head over feet for them. Or is it head over heels? No, it's head over. Okay, head over heels. Yeah, you have fallen head over heels for this person. But money is where you draw the line. It just feels evil, because it feels extremely materialistic. And unfortunately, society has taught us that. But like I like to say, you have a choice. Society does not force you. You still have a choice. You have will, which God has given you. Okay, I'm this close to saying uko na akili. Like, okay, nimesema. You have a brain. Where are you acting as if society thinks for you and all you need to do is speak what society says, right? So society has shaped it that way, unfortunately. But I like to encourage Christians, align now what society has done to the word of God. The Proverbs 31 woman, for example, remember, the Proverbs 31 woman is wealthy. She is good with money. She's making stuff, she's selling it at the city, I don't know what. She is buying land. That's a moneyed woman. But the Proverbs 31 woman gets her husband to be respected as the city gets, right? So she does not use this money status of hers to make the husband look bad. And I draw that example and bring it to our society and respect the fact that how my husband is seen, for example, still matters. And I would like my husband to be respected, for instance. So even if I was earning 100 times more than him, because of acknowledging this society that we are saying, because of acknowledging the fact that this is how society sees it, and therefore a certain way that money is in our family will cause him to be seen in a certain way, I still again value my husband being respected more than I value trying to change society's perspective. I don't know if you get, because it's a whole twist of, yes, I don't support what society thinks, but still I really want my husband to be respected. And in that case, then I will acknowledge that this is how society sees things. So we will keep on pulling on all ends, because this is what we say, this is what we do. And even him, I mean, if he really believed in what society speaks, for example, there's a lot of things I wouldn't do right now, but he lets me because there's a lot of societal nonsense, so to speak, that we don't believe in, and hata tunajipatanga, we don't even have to make decisions about it. It's just like I'm saying, we have minds of our own. Kama tuko na akili tunaweza kufikiria, mimi na Muitiriri individual, na tukileta pamoja zina agree. What does society matter? What does society in that sense matter? Nah.
Wow. It's very important you've highlighted that, because the book of Romans 12 from verse 2 says, do not be conformed to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind.
Yes.
Na venye amesema gently, uko na akili. Tumia mtukili mtu yangu.
Asante.
Yeah.
Nilikuwa nafikiria ati
even the Bible wetu wasemanga ati
kujitetea na Biblia kama umetukana watu Israel.
No, it's let's be honest. Even Paul was calling them, you foolish Galatians, who bewitched you.
Huyo ni Paul. jitete tu kuna Paul. Na Paul alikuwa inspired by the Holy Spirit akiandika hizo vitu. Can you make sure roho amekwambia uambie watu wakuwe na akili? No, useme.
Anyways, it is just a kind way to remind you that yes, indeed, you have the decision. You have the choice to make. You can choose to live this life. You can choose to let the society define marriage for you and relationship for you, or you can choose to write your own story based on what the Word of God says. Hallelujah. Let us take a pause from there. We'll continue this conversation next week. Remember, we've been talking about finances and love, more so the financial expectation in dating and marriage. And that has been our time. Ann, thank you so much. How can guys get in touch with you on social media, and also what will be your parting shot?
Get in touch with me as Ann Muitiriri. Muitiriri. Facebook, TikTok, and all others. You can get in touch with me there. DM, kuja hapo tuongee hata kwa comments. Mara nyingi I will be poking society with unfiltered opinions about these things. So come, let's talk there. And my parting shot is, honestly, what's money to you? Yeah.
Wow, what's money to you? That has been our time on Relationship Wednesday. We do this again next week from 8:30.
96.9 FM, Pearl Radio.